So, what's really going on with all the price reductions you're seeing in Anne Arundel County and on the Eastern Shore of Maryland? If you've been searching for a home this year, you've probably noticed a lot of homes getting price reductions lately. And it's true, about one in two or one in three houses, depending on where you are, is getting a price reduction. So that may be causing some hesitation and thinking that maybe the real estate market is trending downward or we're heading towards some sort of collapse in the real estate market. And I understand that. There's a lot of people out there that are doomsday preachers who say a lot of that kind of stuff. And more often than not, it's really just clickbait or it's just attention for their videos and their reels so that you'll subscribe. But I'm going to give you the truth about what's really going on and show you the data. I've analyzed the last 2 years of data on our local real estate market in Anne Arundel County, Queen Anne's County, Kent County, Talbot County, and basically the Eastern Shore, Upper Shore, and Mid Shore. And I want to share with you what's really going on with home prices and the current real estate market. So it's true. One in two houses had to reduce their price in order to sell. And in about one in four or five houses, after a price reduction, the seller took the house off the market because they weren't able to find a buyer. But there's way more to this story. There's a whole lot more. So when I was analyzing the data and trying to figure out what was really going on in this real estate market, not only did I analyze the data myself, but I used artificial intelligence and I asked it to analyze the data for me to just make sure I was getting it right. And both AI and myself came up with the same conclusion. And here are the facts about the real estate market. Number one, it's true. One in two or three houses, depending on your area, had to have a price reduction in order to sell. And it doesn't seem to matter who you hire. A lot of agents in all sales levels, top producers or not, big name or not, they're getting the pricing wrong. And it's costing sellers tens of thousands of dollars. There's one house that's still on the market and the seller reduced by $50,000 and still hasn't found a buyer. Number two, one in four or five, depending on which area you're in, homes, the sellers pulled the house off the market because they weren't able to get a contract, even after price reductions, sometimes two or three. These are frustrated sellers that were willing to negotiate and sent every signal to the market that not only did they want to sell, but they were willing to work with buyers, but nobody showed up. Number three, we're in the middle of a shifting real estate market. What does that mean? Well, it means things, when you hear the word shifting, it means things are either slowing down or speeding up, or home prices are going up or down, or a combination of both. But the fact about the market is the only thing we're really seeing a shift is the number of sales occurring on a monthly basis. It's down since last year, the total volume and the total number of sales. Number four, sales price to list price ratio. We are seeing sellers negotiating with buyers more. Depending on the property, sellers are going to get anywhere from 96 to 99% of their asking price, but that's only part of the story. Homes are still selling fast. There are homes that have sold in less than 30 days and in less than a week. And there's still a significant portion of homes getting 100% of the asking price or more. So let me break down what this actually means to you, whether you're thinking about buying a house in Anne Arundel County, Queen Anne's County, or Talbot County, or even up in Kent. Why are you seeing these price reductions? Well, there are three main reasons, and none of them really spell doom and gloom. First of all, we had historically low inventory during 2021 to 2023 and parts of 2024. It started to shift, but still had low inventory. And sellers got used to throwing any price on their house and getting multiple offers. That's not reality anymore. And we're back to a normal market where pricing strategically actually matters. Second, interest rates went from 3 to 7%, and that changed buyer purchasing power overnight in some instances. A buyer who could afford $500,000 at 3% can now only afford $375 to $400 at 6 or 7%. So homes that would have sold a year ago at one price need to be adjusted for today's buyer pool. The good news is rates are back down and lower than they have been in over a year. And this is making homes much more affordable, and the buyers that are paying attention are getting great homes at great affordable prices. But there are still buyers who are priced out of this market for the house that they want. Third, this is the big one nobody's talking about. Agents got lazy. When everything sold in 24 hours, they stopped doing proper comparative market analysis. And if they were a new agent licensed in the last 5 years, this may be their first year in learning how to do a proper CMA and how to price a house. Now that we're in a normal market, bad pricing is getting exposed and it's costing sellers real money. And that's where and why you're seeing so many price reductions. So here's what the data actually shows. So remember, I pulled every single sale in my team service area for the last 24 months. And here's what's really happening. For buyers, yes, you're seeing price reductions, but here's the truth. Homes that are priced correctly from day one, still selling fast. In one market, we had 23 houses in the last 90 days sell within a week of listing, and those sellers got 100% of asking price or very close to it. So what does that tell you? The good deals are still moving. The homes sitting on the market with multiple price reductions, they were overpriced to begin with, but they are likely good houses and good deals to be had. So pay attention to those. And for sellers, if your home sits on the market for more than 30 days without activity, you're not just overpriced, you're leaving money on the table. Because every day your home sits, it gets stale. And stale listings ultimately sell for less than they could have if they were priced correctly from day one. And the market says that. So why national market doom and gloom does not apply here? And you're seeing a lot of videos and a lot of people talking about it, even in our local market. Here's something that drives me crazy. These YouTube experts talk about national housing crash. And let me tell you why that's garbage when it comes to our area. Anne Arundel, Queen Anne's, Talbot, Kent counties. Our market is driven by Baltimore, DC commuters who want waterfront living. We have a lot of second homeowners that come from DC, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Northern Virginia, and other areas as well. I mean, I've had someone come from Ohio to try and buy a waterfront from here. It's crazy. And then there are people, in particular retirees, who want to slow life down a little bit and enjoy the Chesapeake Bay lifestyle. These factors don't exist in places like Phoenix or Miami or wherever these crash predictors are making their videos from. Real estate is highly local. What happens in Vegas has zero impact on Queen Anne's County, Maryland. What happens in California doesn't affect Anne Arundel County or the Annapolis market. Our market fundamentals are strong. We have limited land, especially when it comes to our waterfront, water-oriented properties. They're not making any more of it, and I'm sure you've heard that before. We have consistent demand from multiple buyer pools. We have people that want to live here full-time and vacationers and second homeowners. We have strong employment in the region. We're within driving distance of two major metropolitan areas. And if you want to, you can throw Columbia in there because they have a ton of employers in that area as well. So that makes it almost three. So what's actually happening versus what's being predicted. The doom predictors say prices would crash 30 to 40%. But if you want to know what's actually happened in our market, year over year, median sales prices across the board are either slightly rising, stable, or nominal change with a nominal change, or slightly down. But the weird thing is, the price per square foot that buyers are paying for a house is up. So you can look at it any way you want, but really we have a pretty stable real estate market. And honestly, after what happened in 2021 to early parts of 2023, we need this stability and correction. Now, sales volume is down, and that's true because there are just less people moving. People still want to buy and sell, and those who are doing it still, but it's not as many during then as during the 2021 to early 2023. Bottom line, if you're a buyer, it's actually a really good time to buy a house. You have negotiating power that you haven't had in years, and sellers are willing to work with you on closing costs, helping with repairs, and negotiate. So don't wait for some mythical crash. It's not coming. It didn't even come during the financial crisis. The truth is, good properties are selling fast with multiple offers. And if you're a seller, you got to price it right from day one. It is not the kind of market to say, oh, let me price $5,000 or $10,000 more to leave room for negotiation. What we're seeing is people that do that end up selling for less than they could have if they actually priced it right the first time. Houses that are on the market for less than 30 days, when you get that price right, 98 to 100% of the asking price. So listen, I'm not here to blow smoke. I've been selling real estate on the Eastern Shore and Anne Arundel County for the last 20 years. I've seen multiple market cycles. This isn't my first market shift or correction to experience, and it won't be my last. And my guess is once buyers find out about what's going on in the market, we're going to do a little bit of a shift again because that's what happens. So if you're serious about buying or selling, here's what I would recommend. Your first step will be to call or text me at 443-733-6477 or click below and get a free copy of the local market report. It's updated in real time with actual MLS data, not national statistics. And what you'll get is current inventory levels, average days on market, by price range, sales price to list price ratio, and if you need a neighborhood by neighborhood breakdown, I can do that for you as well. And if you want to have a real conversation about your specific situation, whether you're buying or selling, just call or text me to set up a time and we can have a quick chat over the phone or we can meet in person. No pressure, no BS, just straight talk about what's really happening in our market, in your price range, and how it affects your situation. Because at the end of the day, you don't need to know what's happening nationally. What's going on in Arizona has nothing to do with Annapolis, Maryland, or in Easton. You need to know what's happening on your street, in your neighborhood, and how it affects you. I'm David J. Moore, team leader of David J. Moore and Associates. Thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you